All right, so next we'll be interviewing Captains Jonathan and Anita Howell. I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
All right, I am Jonathan Howell from the Maryland and West Virginia Division.
Ooh.
And I'm Anita Howell from the same place.
You can see my MW. MW.
All right, so I'll just ask both of you the questions and get both of you to answer.
Yeah.
So first off, this isn't your first time at TYI, is it?
No, man. I grew up going to TYI quite a bit. Like, I can even mark some major steps in my life spiritually from going to TYI. Ever since I was like 15, man, I've been a lot of times.
I'm gonna have to get another video of you later on down the road.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so versus being a delegate versus being an officer, how would you say the experience is different?
I think for me, as a delegate, you're here to kind of soak it all in and fellowship and hang out. When you come from a perspective of an officer or a divisional youth secretary, you have those same expectations of fellowship and going deeper into the Word, but you also have desires of your heart to see your youth and your young adults grow and really embrace and engage in what TYI and TMI have to bring and offer for them, both holistically, so in relationships, spiritually, and just with friends.
Wow. Good luck, editor, with a loud motorcycle in the background. I'm sure he's leaving real soon.
Yeah.
We could do like a dance interview in between. How do you do a dance?
No.
Perfect. Eddie wants the motorcycle.
Alright. You still have the answer.
Yeah. So for me, I think the distractions are just different. I think both as a delegate and as an officer, I look forward to growing spiritually during TYI. But I think some of my distractions as a delegate was more distracted as to, what girl am I dating, or, what am I going to do during my free time, that kind of stuff, But I still was able to learn and grow spiritually. I think as an officer now, not only am I wanting to learn and grow spiritually, as Anita said, I'm interested in my delegates and my kids, and you're not kids anymore, but I'm interested in the ones that are delegates that I know, that I love, that I'm invested in, and where are they growing. But then my distractions are a little bit different. We have some responsibilities as well, so that can take away from some of it. But I think for the most part, it's not much different as far as, man, I'm here to grow spiritually.
All right. And so, both of you, what are you really looking for God to do this week, either through you, or what are you looking forward to seeing Him do?
So the theme this year is engage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And I am looking again. So as an officer, I'm paying attention to the delegates, and I'm really hoping that those delegates that we brought, or those that I know, I'm hoping that they learn what it means to engage, what it means to really realize their influence on life, on their peers, on their communities, on their families, that their actions can cause someone to either move closer to Jesus or farther from Jesus. And that they have a responsibility to engage. Those who call themselves Christians, those who consider themselves saved, have a responsibility to engage and help to spread the gospel.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
Right?
I know that my biggest heart's desire is that our delegates would be open to receiving what God has, but that they would truly embrace and understand what walking in faith is, and trusting and understanding that there is no fuzzy line. You're either for Christ and following what He's called you to do, or you're of the world and doing what the world says. And so that tension that pulls people back and forth is the reality that yes, there's that tension, but there is no choice to walk down the middle with one foot in the world and one foot in the Spirit, that you have to be all in the Spirit. And so that affects us. Like our speaker talked about this morning, the road is wide, but we're called to go down the narrow one. So we're called to go down the road that's not popular, that society's telling us is not cool. That's the road that that's the direction we're supposed to go. So just really embracing that and understanding fully what that means, that you're not always going to be the cool kid in the world's eyes, but in the kingdom, you're his child and you're the coolest you can get.
That was good. And lastly, this will be one specifically for Captain Anita and then one for Captain Jonathan. So I've been asking the delegates about their classes. So you say you teach one?
Yeah, so this year I have the opportunity to teach a class with my best friend, Captain Ruth Cancia, and we're teaching a class that's titled Petty Betty, and basically talking about how quickly we can get petty with people or respond in a petty way, and how we take that pettiness and how we can still hold people accountable with truth and love in the way that Christ has called us, and how do we take those moments of pettiness and apply biblical truths to that, to where we can really be displaying the fruits of the Spirit, handling it as Christ would handle those situations, and not becoming and responding in a petty nature.
Maybe I should have taken that class. And
I think a lot of more people should have taken that
You've
class.
been heavily involved with the night programs that we've had.
So I wouldn't say heavily involved. I got selected last night for Family Feud, which was fun. Just the TYI versus TMI. And then I'm preparing for tomorrow night's night program, which isn't really anything deep or spiritual, but it's dancing with the DYSs or something like that. So I'm having to, actually my alarm is going off right now because it's reminding me that I need to go to my dance instructor.
All right.
And I got a couple more minutes, but to go and learn. So it's really just fun to get to be with the TYI and the TMI group together. There are a lot of really great people in the TMI delegation. And with this being a first, at least for me, to be able to do both, I'm really getting to watch both groups grow spiritually. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of incredible people in both groups. So to be able to participate with both groups, TMI and TYI, man, it's just like a bonus blessing. So that's kind of my involvement.
That's good. And lastly, so the morning programs, I haven't really talked much with anyone about them yet. You guys have maybe like a quick comment or two about either of those? Morning Manna or D groups or anything like that?
Yeah, so Morning Manna is a time with praise and worship, and for us to really just start our day off in the Word of God. And our speaker, Joseph, or Sojo, as he calls himself, has really brought the word this morning, and so we're really excited to see what else God says through him. And with D groups, it's just a time for everyone to come together in small groups and kind of compact everything that they just got from God in that morning manna. So to really talk out some things, some feelings, what did God say to them, what are they struggling with and maybe need to put down, and just kind of process what's been shared with them in that morning manna time.
Yeah, I believe morning manna is anointed times. I really believe that God speaks, again, to me personally, so loud during morning manna. Like I said, and I said this at the beginning of this interview, Eddie, I can mark some spiritual jumps in my life by morning manna times at TYI through my life growing up. And so I would challenge any young person, or any person at all. There's some people here that aren't so young. I'm pointing to Anita. I would challenge anyone to see if they can hear the voice of God during morning manna. Man, it is some of the most powerful times. But I also believe there's an enemy that fights during those times. And I do believe there is an attempt for a lot of distractions. Again, whether it's the person you're sitting next to or your phone or sleepiness, whatever. So I feel like there's certainly some spiritual warfare going on during that time. But if you are willing to hear the voice of God, if you are willing to hear the plan and the purpose that he has for you, morning manna at TYI or TMI, morning manna will be the time where you can hear that.
That's good. I think that's about all. Hopefully, well, I know for a fact that we will see what you've said God will do throughout the week. I know we'll see it.
Yeah.
I fully believe that. I fully have faith in that. And so again, I want to thank you guys for being on here with us, and
course.
we will.
Bro, that's
catch
it.
up
No
later.
funny stories, no dances, no.
That comes later, unless,
Right.
unless you want me to tell them the story about how we met.
Nope. I think that's about all the time we
Yeah,
have.
that's about all the time we have.
All right,
It'll
thank
be
you.
up tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Eddie.